Hello there, we are in Lufwanyama on the Copper Belt province here in Zambia, and it's always a joy to be in this environment and just see what God has begun to do. I will be talking to Pastor Rodgers Makaliki, who has several projects here around this community. How are you, Pastor Rodgers, and welcome?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to have you again. This is not the first time you friends are coming, and we are so glad to be with you again.
Thank you. Tell us more about yourself, where you're coming from, and just a bit about your family.
I live in Kitwe. That's where I make my home. I'm married to Swazi, my wife, and God has blessed us with 3 children, 1 girl, 2 boys, and God has put on our heart to do service to the community. Besides our pastoring in the New Covenant Church, Kitwe Central Church, we doing some work that we feel God putting on our heart of serving into this community in a way of helping the less privileged, and also doing some projects that will be able to alleviate the poverty levels that we have seen and found in the community.
Before we even go to the community, we have just seen some progress, some construction going on here and there. Maybe let's talk about the construction before we turn to talking about the community.
You're absolutely right. We have been coming here for a few years now, since 2012, when we got our registrations, and we've been coming, and we happened to acquire a piece of land. That's where I would like to build our own center, where I will be able to discharge the services to the community and the less privileged children. Yes, the construction therefore is on course. We already gotten some progress by way of we have managed to acquire blocks, sand, and very soon, actually, the course of this month, we are starting the footing of the construction of one of our buildings there.
I will be talking to George, who is one of the coordinators in this organization, who works hand in hand with Rodgers Makaliki, who is the founder for this organization. George, how are you?
I'm fine, and
Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is George? What are you doing currently?
my name's George Kapiha, and I'm the field manager for Zoe African Children. We work hand in hand with the director, Rodgers Makaliki, in Lufwanyama.
Tell us a bit about some of the challenges that Lufwanyama has. That since you've been a field manager and you've gone around Lufwanyama, I believe, just cite maybe 2 or 3 challenges that you've seen.
Currently, the challenge we have is transport. We don't have a vehicle to get in Lufwanyama. Most of the times, we just hire cars and to take us to Lufwanyama. And also, coming to the children, there are so many challenges. Some of our kids they are not in school, and they stay far away from schools. So walking long distance to get to school. So it's been a big challenge.
Okay. I know you've been in the field and you have been interacting with many people in the society. Just tell us a bit about early child pregnancies in Lufwanyama.
Early child marriage is very real in Lufwanyama. The cause of this is a lot of young men. There are no activities going on, and there are few who are out there to help the kids understand how they can live in society. So in the end, because they don't have what to do, they end up getting married. Currently in Zambia, the economy is not doing well, and things are very hard. You know, just to get employment, uh, it's not easy to find it. So you find that the parents or the caretakers, they end up maybe to let their children get into marriage, so that maybe from that they can get something. So it has been a big challenge.
Right. As we come to the close, what are your closing remarks?
We are asking for the well wishers who can come on board to help us help the community and orphans and vulnerable kids.
Thank you so much. The Lord bless you for your hard work. I know sometimes it's challenging, but just your heart and passion towards this community is something worth noting. The Lord bless you as you serve the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Can you just maybe shed light as you break down what is expected and what we are about to see, what we are expected to see in the next 5 years?
Thank you. Our 5-year plan in this community is also to help the elder women, and by way of doing a program that we are calling peri-urban and rural banking. This involves identifying the activities that are able to do right around themselves without spending a lot of money. They will come together, will form groups, a minimum of 25 people. And within the groups, they'll be doing their savings. The savings are monitored every week. We've got books where they'll be able to record everyday savings. And then they'll be able to lend to each other to continue. I'll give you an example. Maybe one would be rearing chickens. After the chickens, maybe they sell the eggs. They bring a bit of money in one box where they do the savings. We have a treasurer, we have a secretary, we have a chairperson. Each week, they'll be able to sit and monitor the activities they're doing in terms of their savings, so that by the end of the year, after 12 months, they are able to check their dividends. And so that's the program that we're about to start in this for 5 years. And we believe that once we do that, then we'll be able to help the community in terms of saving. You may know that us as Africans, we've been very bad in terms of savings. This is also one way of helping an African community to be independent.
Thank you so much. We are in a community, Lufwanyama, which is struck by many various challenges.
Absolutely.
And a lot of vices that are affecting young people, such as drug abuse, alcohol abuse. Let's talk about one pressing issue currently, which is the talk of many rural areas here in Zambia, and that's the issue of early child marriage and early child pregnancies. How is your program or project helping to combat this vice?
Yes, looking at the early childhood marriages and pregnancies, one of the things that we're doing actually, once we identify, especially the children that we've identified in the community, is to sit with both the child and the parents or the guardians and encourage them and talk about the importance of education and help them to get back into school. This we have been doing. Some of our children that we have identified, they carry babies with them, yet we have embarked on encouraging them and pushing them back into school and continue with education, especially the girl child. This is Susan Michelo, and this is her baby. First, she's got twins. She's one of the girls that we've been supporting from the very time that we started, but she ended up having dropping out from school because of the issues of early marriages and pregnancies that is prevalent in this community.
Hello, Susan. How are you?
Oh, well.
Oh, cool. So, Susan, tell us about your story. Tell us about the story of it.
So fika grade 10 mpio fasha mpio kushota. So fasha shote ganisa kwa tani fumo nishinji pa school. So apanshia ku school.
Okay. So, Susan says when she had made it or passed to grade 10. Here in Zambia, we do write examinations to pass to grade 10. So, on the 9th grade, you write exams. So, when she wrote exams, she started having challenges, or her family started having challenges in sponsoring her back to school. So during the course of that period, she got pregnant, and that's how she dropped off school. And then currently she's having twins. So Susan, would you love to go back to school? Okay. What is needed for you to go back to school currently? Finish file for ikapakti mwewekele ku school.
Mpia na my uniforms hapa school.
So she says she would really love to go back to school. Currently, if she can find a sponsorship money for her school fees, uniforms and books, she would really be glad to get back to school. Just in a nutshell, from the time you got pregnant to now, how's your life been? Ushe mwewe nulishani walishani pomwa kwetefumo ukufika pano. Okay, so she says that she's having a hard time to find work, but currently she just stays at home.
On the issue of the drug abuse and alcohol, there's recently the area member of parliament was on the tele talking about the seriousness, how this community has been affected with the alcohol. One of the things we are doing to help out the young people is that we have a program for them. We have soccer, football, and netballs that once in a while we are already formed groups where we involve them so that they're kept busy in doing these activities that will take them away from the devices of alcohol and beer drinking.
That's great and quite helpful. I'm glad to hear about what you're doing to improve this community in which you are ministering. I also understand that you're also doing sponsorship programs. Can you maybe shed more light about it?
Yes, our sponsorship programs, we're doing them, but not at the level that would want to do them, because we can do just as much as we can according to when the resources unveil themselves. The one thing that we've been doing is in order to help them with schools, is to get them books, get them pencils, those things that are needed for school. And we have been supporting them in that way so that they're encouraged to be in school. It's because of the limited resources we could do better than just books, maybe paying for schools. For instance, we've got 2 of our girls that are almost dropped out now. They're asking for 750 kwacha, each one of them, to get back there in secondary school. They dropped out because they were impregnated. And so it is that kind of sponsorship that would want to, once resources avails, that we send them back into school.
Right. Looking at the passion you have for this community, I think I would have to ask you, as we draw to the close of our chat here, where would you love to see Lufwanyama at in the coming years, maybe 5 to 6 to 10 years to come?
I like to see in 5 years, 10 years ahead, to see the children that we've been helping, in a way they become independent, they're educated, and then even further, the elder women who might have nowhere to get their resources, they have an income that is able to sustain them.
Praise God for that. What would be your last encouraging words to the people that are watching us currently?
My encouraging words really is that I'm making a humble request to help us, either to support us, to support the children, or the construction works we're doing, or the project for empowering the elderly, people that are staying and living with these vulnerable children that are orphaned. Any help in these areas would be absolutely very helpful to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really a joy just to see what the Lord is doing in this community through you, and what you will continue doing in this place. And I believe the next time we come here, most of the things that we are seeing on the ground will be actually materialized. Thank you so much.
You are really welcome, and thank you for coming. God bless you.